of you are fully aware, and I just close it so I'm not going to use it at all. If you don't know Beverly, you must not have been around very long. Beverly Pryor grew up at Unity of Dallas, basically. She became a licensed Unity teacher. She became a minister. She took off for South Texas and had a church down there for a while, and then she went to Little Rock, had a church there, and now she's visiting us again today. We have her as often as we can get her. So I'm going to ask you with a round of applause. Please welcome Rev Bev.
Thank you. She does a great improv introduction, doesn't she? Thank you, Anne. I'm just so excited today. I see so many yummy faces out here, and some of you I've seen the various times I've been coming back to visit, and some of you have been here today for the first time in a while, and I'm excited for that. So we're going to begin with the meditation. The chaplain did a beautiful job with the daily word prayer. But what I want to do today is, how many of you are familiar with heart math? A lot of you, right? So we're going to do a little bit of heart math because that's a good way to practice gratitude and to bring ourselves into this moment. So just let yourself be comfortable in your chair. You can put both feet on the floor, uncross your legs and your arms, and you can either rest your hands in your lap, or if you have enough room to use both armrests. And let your spine be straight. And if you'd like to close your outer eyes, just begin by noticing the weight of your body sitting on your chair. And we're going to begin just feeling into that with gratitude for that chair, for the support that it provides. And just notice your body for a moment. And let's just have a moment of gratitude for our bodies. This is not the moment to judge, to be critical. We'll just be grateful. Even for the little aches and pains. Because they're a message, they're a signal. Together, let's take a deep breath in and slowly release that breath. Another deep breath in. A pause at the top, and exhale through your mouth. When we exhale through our mouth, we're releasing energy. So if we have any pent up or excess energy, we can just let it move out with that exhale. Let's take another deep breath together, and this time let's just breathe in and out through our nose. Breathe in. And release. When we breathe through our nose, we're circulating that energy within our body. As we breathe in unison, we connect mind, body, and spirit. And we also connect one with another in this moment. We become one mind, one body, one Christ consciousness. So in the style of heart math, let's bring to our mind's eye an image of something. It might be a place at the beach or on a mountaintop. It might be looking at a baby or someone you love. Something that brings you great gratitude and appreciation. Just let that smile come on your face as you really allow this image to come into a 3D existence in your mind. Notice the sounds and the fragrances in the air when you're having this experience. Notice anything that you might touch. If you're at the beach, you might reach for sand. Whatever it is, engage your 5 senses in this moment of gratitude. And once you have that image created in your mind's eye, we'll take a deep breath in, and as we exhale, move that image from your mind into your heart center. Let's take a deep breath in and release, and move that image down into your heart and feel the feelings of gratitude and appreciation. And from our heart, we let it expand out into this room, filling this building, the city of Dallas and the state of Texas and all across the U.S. Gratitude and appreciation sweeping across, further and further out to envelop our entire world. And we'll take a moment in the silence just to hold our world and our entire universe in a moment of gratitude. And from this expanded state of gratitude consciousness, we come back to this moment, knowing that we can come back to that experience anytime we choose. For the truth and the Christ consciousness alive in each and every one of us, we simply say thank you. And so it is. Amen. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes and maybe move your feet and toes if you feel like it. So today my talk is something to do with gratitude. We know, we've been told for years and years, Oprah, the mighty Oprah, told us all about her gratitude journals, and look how her life turned out, pretty good. Has anybody tried gratitude journals? Did you stick with it? We do it for a while sometimes, especially when we're trying to prime ourselves, like, let's try a new practice. But really, this experience of gratitude is transformational. It really, truly is. And I think you posted something about that, didn't you, Libby?
I live in gratitude all day long.
All day long. That's a beautiful space to live in. So we're going to talk a little bit today about why this is true. Because, a lot of times in our spiritual communities, especially more traditional, we just kind of want you to accept when we tell you something, right? Well, this is a good thing for you to do. Be grateful. That's, I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, if my mom would tell me to be grateful, I just, it's like it was annoying. I had to be the one always to be so polite and so grateful. And sometimes you resist things that are actually very good for you. And so we're going to talk today about why that's true. So when you look at something beautiful like this lush landscape, you feel awe, right? You have that sense of, wow, that was made by some force, some intelligence in the world, and I get to look at it. I had nothing to do with it, but I get to appreciate it. Awe is an easy avenue to gratitude. Don't you agree, Libby? It's an easy way to get ourselves moving in that direction, is to have that experience of awe. But it's not just about attaching it to something. Gratitude is actually a state of being. Now, when we look at the definition, it says the quality of being thankful. Duh. Readiness to show appreciation and to return kindness. Now that's a really readiness to show appreciation. I'm on the ready. I'm looking for some reason to show my appreciation. That's a shift in consciousness. I'm on the ready. I'm not just here drudging through my day. I'm ready to show and to return the kindness. Not just to say, okay, thanks, I get all my good. Thank you for my good. I'm going to put it in my good wagon, and I'm going to haul it along. Connection is what it's really all about. When we express gratitude and appreciation, we're making a connection. Do you ever do that with a stranger? If they hold the door for you, actually look them in the eye and say thank you? Or do you just go right through because you're busy and you got somewhere else to be? When you stop and have that little moment, it's powerful because you see someone and they feel seen. It's a really important process. So metaphysically, you're familiar with the revealing word. That's one of our study guides here at Unity, created by our founders. Gratitude and thanksgiving are both necessary in demonstrating prosperity through divine law. Everything comes back to prosperity. And you know, this is not prosperity preaching, like, okay, go believe and you can get all that fancy car and all that, which you can, and you deserve it, and you should have it if your heart desires it, because all those desires are put in our heart by God, by the divine intelligence that says everything is available to you. But it's important to know that gratitude is a key component in that. In October, I did 2 weeks, 1 week on giving and 1 week on receiving. And we didn't really talk about gratitude at that time, but metaphysicians know that being thankful for what they have increases the inflow. Increases the inflow through the process of gratitude. And like I said, it worked for Oprah, right? It works for all of us. You know, I pull up my Edward Jones account where I have my money that I've saved all my life for this time of my life, and I look at it on a regular basis. And I just, whether the market's up or down, I still say thank you. I still say thank you that I've had opportunities to put that money there so that I have it to appreciate. Because I truly, honestly, I'm not just making this up. I do that because I feel that it makes a difference. Am I controlling the stock market? No, but I'm controlling my consciousness with regards to money. That's what I have control over. I have control over where my mind is working. So this just came to me the other day. Gratitude is the neural pathway that all good vibes traverse. Does anybody like brain science and you know about your neurons and your neural pathways? I mean, the easiest way without going, yes, back there in the back, you love it, right? I mean, it is so powerful. If you know, Tara Swart is a psychiatrist and an MIT brain scientist. Anyway, she wrote a whole book called The Source. And so she connects all the brain science to all the practices that we know and we love that actually change our way in the world. But we can do that because what? We have dominion. We have dominion over our thoughts and our mind. I know it doesn't feel like it in the middle of the night when you wake up with a little anxiety, but you really do. You really do. And so gratitude, think about it this way. When we're talking about neural pathways, think about like if you had a favorite path you like to go cut across a field when you were a kid. You know, the first time you walk through it, it's kind of hard, and then after a while, it's the easy path, and before you know it, everybody can see the path to your grandma's house or wherever it is you're going. But that's what happens as we repeat these things. That happens in our brain with our neural pathways. When we are more grateful, the more we find things to be grateful for, the more things show up in our life for which we are grateful. It's just the way it works. Try it if you haven't already. So this is from the Heart Math Institute, and we did that little meditation. Everybody, you've probably heard this if you've ever heard me talk. I love to talk about vibrations and the electromagnetic field of the body. Because why? Because it's a real thing. And we don't talk about it enough. I grew up being called sensitive. Well, I am. I'm emotionally sensitive, but I'm also energy sensitive. But even if you're not sensitive and you don't have that awareness, it's still happening. It's still going on. That's why it works when we pray for others. That's why they say where two or more are gathered. We're actually amplifying that effect. It's called what? Constructive interference. I talked about that last time I was here, if you remember. Remember these arms, it amplifies. So back to the revealing word. Gratitude is a great mind magnet. And when it's expressed from the spiritual standpoint, it's a powerfully augmented. So when you know why you're expressing gratitude, when you're really into it, when you know to feel into the gratitude, to really experience that moment, it is a powerful augmenter of your spiritual experience. It's also they said saying grace at the table. In the South, where I grew up in Arkansas, we say the blessing, right? What do you say the grace or do you say the blessing? Grace. I say blessing. Anyway, when you do that, simple as it is, and we all forget to do this, right? We forget. We get so busy, we're just going to sit down and eat. But we actually take the time. Again, this is energy, right? We're engaging with our food. We're actually putting good vibes into our food before we put it into our body, and we're also being grateful. My family laughs at Thanksgiving if they dare ask me to say the prayer, because I go all the way back to the people planting the seeds. I'm blessing it all the way from seeds to harvest to the stores and the packaging and into our house, because it matters. It's our consciousness. We're grateful for all of these experiences that cumulatively meet our needs, bring us the things into our life that we value. So, this is the brain science part. There are studies that show gratitude actually increases the gray matter in your medial prefrontal cortex. This is not woo-woo, this is not spiritual stuff. This is science. It increases your gray matter. And you know why that matters to you? Because this is where you learn new things. When you're a grateful person, you have the ability to learn more things, to process that information and make better decisions. For those of us who are aging, this is really important. So as we get older, we have to, don't become that crotchety old person. We all know one, at least one. It may be fun to be crotchety. It's kind of fun sometimes, I'm sure. But it's not doing you any good. It's not helping that gray matter. It's not increasing those neural pathways that help you to become more intelligent, not intelligent on a scale of, IQ, but your ability to use that gray matter that's in your head. So what they say about this is from the Greater Good Science Center at UC Berkeley. And a lot of this material came out of this article, How Gratitude Changes You and Your Brain. So they say greater neural sensitivity in the medial prefrontal cortex, a brain area associated with learning and decision making, suggests that people who are more grateful are also attentive to how they express gratitude, such as letter writing. So they did this study of people writing letters of gratitude on a continuous basis. And what they found out was that this effect was found 3 months after the letter writing began. It indicates that simply expressing gratitude may have lasting effects on the brain, training the brain to be more sensitive to the experience of gratitude down the line. And this could contribute to improved mental health over time. Gratitude makes you healthier, gives your life a richness. It's not just what you're doing by acknowledging others. You're actually feeding your own soul through the activity of your mind. You can choose this. It's so simple. But we just don't do the things we know are simple, right? We just set it aside. But it's important to do this. For why? For you, for your health, for your presence in this world, so that you can have that decision making, so that you can make new connections and you can learn new things as we age. It's important to continue to learn. And they say this, a lot of studies, AARP for sure will tell you to keep learning, right? Well, you keep learning for this very reason, to keep stimulating that connection.
I love the way the Dalai Lama says it. He says, the grateful world
Is a world of joyful people. The grateful world is a world of joyful people. Because it gives us that ability to recognize more and more gratitude and appreciation, right? Things appreciate when we express gratitude for them and about them and as them. We can be ourselves an expression of gratitude. But here's an even more important thing that I love. This part of the brain, along with other parts of the brain, like the hippocampus and other, it's also an area of the brain responsible for creativity and imagination. So while you're learning new things, you can have new ideas, new concepts that you can apply to your life. Sometimes, as we get older, we get stuck in a rut, right? We do the things that we've always done. But if we really want to expand and grow in our lives, we need to look at new ways of doing things. So this month, are you familiar with the 12 powers that Unity teaches? November is usually the month that we talk about renunciation or elimination, also called release. Let it go, right?
a letting go of old thoughts in order that new thoughts may find place in consciousness.
We've got to let go of the way it used to be. We've got to let go of the way we hoped it would be. We've got to let go of our disappointments. We've got to let go of things that don't serve us. We've got to let go of bad habits. We've got to let go of complaining if we want to be in gratitude. We've got to let go of judgment if we're going to be in appreciation. We've got to let go so that we can have these new thoughts come forth and this new way of being come forth in our life. So I'm going to tell you real quickly 6 habits, also according to the Greater Good Science Center, 6 habits of highly grateful people. And you can take a note if you identify with some of these, or maybe you want to pick some up for yourself.
So, highly grateful people
Think about death and loss every once in a while. Now that sounds contradictory in a way, because sometimes thinking about loss makes us sad. But if we take that loss and we appreciate the way that it used to be, we appreciate that we had that person in our life or that job for the time that we had it or whatever it was, we can take that and we can let go of those darker feelings and exchange it for appreciation and gratitude for the fact that we had those moments in time. And they take time to smell the roses. So slow down. We have to let go of the hurry and the busyness. We have to release all of this doing and do a little being. Am I hearing that, or are you hearing that? Oh, that's what it's when I turn my head. I'm just going to pinch it right down here then, so it's not so close. Thank you for problem solving with me, because that was a little disorienting for me. Okay, they take good things as a gift, not as a birthright. Nothing is owed to us, right? We don't have the right to have certain things. But if we're grateful, we recognize that everything is a gift. Even like I see this with parents and children, right? Well, I'm the mother, they should come visit me. Well, that's not very inviting. If you're putting that out in your energy field, your kids are not coming, I'm just telling you. However, if you have appreciation and gratitude in that field of energy, people will come to you. Try that if you've got children that you would like to come visit you. Start putting out some good feelings towards them. It's not your right to have them treat you a certain way. You have to first have that gratitude and appreciation. Okay, they're grateful to people, not just things. For me, one of my main love languages is time spent together. You could buy me something, and thanks, I'll be grateful that you took the time, but then I have to translate in my head. They bought me stuff because they probably like stuff, so I'm going to appreciate that that was the gesture. But for me, if you sit down and have a conversation with me, that is much more valuable to me. Your time and your attention is what my love language is. So if we acknowledge people from where they are, it might be that you want a big gift. My niece's husband says, they're all my love language. He likes all the ways for the love language. Excuse me. But we need to connect with people and let them know. This is my favorite one. And I hope you remember this. They mentioned the pancakes. So let's say, if you live with a roommate or a spouse or somebody, a relative or a stranger, I don't know. But let's say someone makes breakfast. It's very easy to go eat the breakfast and say, have a good day, bye. Or, thanks for breakfast. But a highly grateful person will stop and say, you know, I appreciate that you took the time to make pancakes because you know they're my favorite breakfast food. And you added the berries, and the berries were really sweet and tart and really, it just made my day. It started my day off so well, and I appreciate that you took the time to think of me and make a breakfast that I would enjoy. That didn't take that much longer. It's more words, but it makes the person feel seen for the effort that they put in. It doesn't take that much work, really, to acknowledge in detail what someone has accomplished. It's so easy for you to go up and go, oh, good job, rather than, I appreciate the attention you gave to setting the table. I appreciate that you took the trash out before it got smelly. All those little things that we think we make so many assumptions. Well, everybody knows the trash gets smelly. You have to take it out. Yeah. But when that other person actually does it without you saying anything, it really makes a difference when you acknowledge it. So they mentioned the pancakes. That's one of the things. And they thank outside the box. I like this one because it's a play on words. Sound like I'm just being Southern. They thank outside the box. But there are a lot of ways to be grateful to people. And if you, again, the love language, there are a lot of different ways to understand other people in your life. Introverted people tend not to want to go to a big, noisy event. So maybe if your thing is big, noisy events, if you want to be grateful to someone, you go do the other thing with them for a change, rather than dragging them with you. It's just a matter of paying attention and sensing and responding to that which is going on around us. We can be grateful in every way. So back to this article, it says processing a life experience through a grateful lens does not mean denying negativity. So this is something that we talk about in Unity a lot because we focus on positivity. It's not some form of superficial happyology. These are the words from this article, actually, or spiritual bypassing. So sometimes we get accused in Unity of being spiritual bypassers because we misunderstand. It's not just all about painting everything with a big happy picture, right? It's about acknowledging that which maybe is not our choice, but choosing to put our focus on that which we want to be grateful for. Instead, it means realizing the power you have to transform an obstacle into an opportunity. Again, the words from this article from the University of California at Berkeley, the research center, the Greater Good Science Center. Researchers are acknowledging what Unity's been teaching for 130 years. It means reframing a loss into a potential gain and recasting negativity into positive channels for gratitude. It's not that hard. It just takes intention. Intention, attention, manifestation. That's something Sri Sri Ravi Shankar used to always say. So in Unity, when we study prayer, we study denials and affirmation. We're not denying that anything uncomfortable ever happens. We're denying the power it has over us to make us feel a certain way. Many of you know that my house was hit by a tornado March 31st of 2023, and I'm still not back in it. This has been a long, drawn-out lesson for me to choose every day not to be angry, not to be frustrated, to monitor how I'm feeling. When people say, well, how are things coming with your house? I have to pause and find a way to, I want to share honestly and openly, but I don't want to go in that rabbit hole of complaining about contractors because that we could all sit here and find a story, just like taking a flight on an airplane. But that doesn't do us any good. We have to deny that those circumstances have the power over us. That those circumstances can't make me an angry, bitter person if I'm not an angry and bitter person. And I can choose. Now, sometimes people will think they can take advantage of you because you're being nice. And you have to also have some good boundaries. But it's not about being a pushover. It's about choosing, I want to feel good about myself in my world. So we can take this moment, whether this is a sunrise or sunset, doesn't matter. You have two chances every single day that you can have this moment. You can choose to stop. In Texas, you get so many beautiful skies at sunset and at sunrise if you're up that early. The colors, the dust in the air just gives us all these brilliant purples and orange and pink, and it's just amazing. So if for no other thing goes well in your day, look for sunset and look out into the sky and take a moment and just say, I am so grateful my eyes get to see that. In 1 Thessalonians 5:16 through 18, it says, rejoice always, pray without ceasing, and give thanks in all circumstances. You can't not pray. All your thoughts and all your words are prayers. So this is a given. So I'm going to give you homework as I always do, right? Your weekly practice for this week is to live in gratitude. If for no other week throughout the year, this week as we're coming up on Thanksgiving, notice the things around you for which you can be grateful and feel into them. Allow yourself to have that moment of awe. Allow yourself to really feel that gratitude and appreciation. Look someone in the eye and make a real connection and express that gratitude. Just really dig in deep and find a way to say that thing that you want to say. sometimes it's awkward because we have just repressed ourselves right out of it. But let's stop doing that. Let's express our gratitude and appreciation. And then receive. This is so important. When someone comes up to you and says, I appreciate this thing that you did, don't say, oh, it was no big deal. That's what we do, don't we? We dismiss it. We can stop and receive that gratitude and say, thank you. Give them gratitude back. Thank you for seeing me, and thank you for acknowledging me. If we will commit to doing that, we will be a happier group of people. Don't you agree? Yes. Don't you agree? Yes. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you.